Hello and welcome back. Starting up long times. Probably be another day of not very much happening. House inspections today. Just gonna mess around with stuff a bit, and get to doing things. Again. No clue when they're gonna be coming. For all I know, it could be anywhere between, like, I'm assuming 8 and 6 in the afternoon, which sucks. Get to doing things. Anyway. Starting up all the junk. Okay. So, Bitcoiny thingy. Where did I get to? Rename the file. So I can request updates from the server. Updated the current prices. Got that far. And with that, I was doing something or other. Okay. I tried to do a little bit offline, but it's just such a damn hassle. Like all of the crazy amounts of information I gotta do before I can even start. It's gonna take me ages. I hate that. Yeah. So first off, I need a way of displaying the graph. So that's what that is. Just data graphs. Anything I dump in there will be displayed with a different color. Ideally, I'll just have something based on length, but whatever. Right now, I don't care about that. And I need to know what the last price was. So BTC last, I guess, or BTC price. Which now means, what the world does that even mean? So I'm just shoving it through as an array. It'll just be going from one to another. I need an XY location. I have the start time, so whenever the program starts, whatever the time is, and whatever the last time is, whenever it gets a new bit of information. That way I could scale it so I can see the graph from now to then, sort of a thing. More important is just the start time, because it's going to have an XY. Last time I was just incrementing things, but it's not really based on time then, it's just information. Doesn't know when the information came from, it just knows that's the next bit of information. But I'd really like it to have time, because I feel like that would be a really handy debugging thing if something was to be going seriously wrong, because the time kept going wrong. As far as I could tell, this doesn't tell me a time. So it's up to me to say the time. Mildly annoying. It would be really nice if this told me the time that this was accurate. But whatever. So we've got a BTC price, which is just going to be last, which is why I was also calling it last. It's the last price. Unless that means literally the last bit of information, and then like the current bit of information. I don't know. I'll have to just display stuff, see what's what. Because I don't really care what it was, I don't really care what it's going to be, all I need to know is what is it now, relative to what was it before. So, yeah, we got that. Ideally, I would just slap this thing through a repeating thing, for, continually getting the prices. And the other thing is, well, now I guess I can start to display a graph. Next thing would be storing this data somewhere, so I can grab my previous data, add this onto it, so using cookies and junk, I guess. Would be a way. Or I could be sending this to my server or something like that. I don't know. So I can use the server to get the previous things. But the question is about this thing. Do I have this as an array, or do I have this as an object? If it's an object, then the indexes could be time. If it's an array, well actually I could sort by arrays, whatever. Alright, so this was going to need an XY. We're going to need the date. So date now will have to be in here. and whatever the price is. So that's its x, that's its y. And y can be relative to whatever stuff is, which that's the next big headache thing which I stopped doing. So I need to know how high, how low to display stuff. For now, let's just not care and see if this works. So we need more than one bit of information to be able to do this, but this should just be fine, so we just got to stick this through a simple loop. I could just do a delay. I feel like the best, easiest way to do this would be... if I... let me just get this box off my table. It's been sitting there for a while. Easy. Oh, so much space. It feels weird being able to move my hand so far. Mouse. So we're gonna move this guy all the way over here. Let's rename this. And just lower the frame rate. I'm not quite sure what the amount I can ping with this is. It was saying stuff about something or other if I do it too much. Let's set it to 3. I don't want to block access halfway through development. Or beginning of development. So if I'm running at 3 FPS, and then I could just say... what? Function. So we just want this to sort of happen over and over again. Delay function, function, function. On. Alright. So we have a function which gets the information and puts it into the push of this thing. I'm going to assume that by this time it has received this request, but this could be mixing up request, which could be a problem. I need to do a thing about that. So it takes priority of the oldest and newest, so it won't do the newer one till the older one's done, or at least it'll know where to put it so it's correct. But actually, if there's an older one and a new one arise, we just don't care about the older one. Whatever. Which I felt like I had a system for that at some point. Weird. I think that might have been server side? I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, then we run this function on the next frame with the input of itself. So when this function runs, it has the input of self, it runs its thing, then it sets a delay for it to just loop this forever. So every 3 times a sec... 3 FPS. Yeah, okay, never mind. So I was thinking 3 seconds. So once every 3 seconds it will ping for more information. Basically. And that will do that. Now the problem is with the graph. So we want to get the start time. Which this should be in milliseconds or something. Okay. So that would be a lot of pixels. So more than that, we'd have to just divide by times. Wait, what? Why did this get so much bigger? What? Oh. I suppose 100 might be a bit better. No. Let's just say like 200. 300? Let's go for that. So we got the start time, we got that time. When we want to display a thing, we're just going to, so the value is like 1000 and something or other. Let's just keep it that. It's going to all be upside down because 0 is up here, but whatever. Let's just see if we get something being displayed. So X is going to be whatever the heck this thing is. So data graphs I, A. Yeah. 0 minus date start time divided by 100, 300. And this can be that divided by 2. Because this is like 1000 whatever, it should be telling me this number. So we don't want it quite that high. So let's say 5, okay. 10. So it'll be 115 pixels down from up here, I think. Or is it from, I can't remember, whichever way around it's going to go. Put that there. And we do the same thing, except instead of A, we have 0. Okay. Oh, because it's running at 3 FPS. Okay. Game 290. So I'm doing it as an array form. Okay, let's help this out a bit. Okay, rather than doing that, so if this is going at 24 per second, that means I would need 24 of those. Okay, I should have something which defines how long this thing wants to wait. The way I did it last time was something along the lines of getting... No, I could just shove an I in here. Oops. Frame is greater than 24 times 3. Okay. So, frame x equals 0. The first time it goes, we're at 24 FPS. I should probably just say this. So that should be whatever, 3 frames per second. Relatively, this is a dangerous way of doing it because I do not want to spam this and have my IP blocked. Or whatever. So, if the frame is greater than this, then we go ahead. So the frame is 0, it won't be greater than that 24 times 3, so we just next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame, until eventually that happens, in which case we set it back to 0, that does its thing, and then we go, this is now 1. That way that loading part goes fine. So we wait about 3 seconds, and that feels a little longer than 3 seconds. Sorry, I went black. What did I do wrong here? Okay. There we are. Oh, because that's now within the function. I suppose I could just dump data through here directly. That's a info. So this returns the thing, which is this response. It doesn't have this response, otherwise we pass it, and that's what info is. We log what the info is, and then last time is whatever, and that is whatever again. And yeah, with info. Love not hacking upload. Whatever I happen to remember. There we go. And we got a second one. Yeah, there it is. Interesting, I see a darker dot at the end of the line, at the beginning of the line. So I'm going to assume the information I'm receiving is probably only accurate to like a 5-minute intervals, maybe? No, because it is just constantly going up and down, isn't it? So 11525 should be about what this is, 11525, which is what that one is. So that's what the previous 5-minute log was. So I'm looking at this number whenever it pings. Which it did seem to go up and then down. I don't see anything happening here though. You can also see it takes about 11 frames to get the response. Sure, whatever. I assume over a 5-minute time period we'd see something a little different there. I'm assuming it's being cleared every frame and then redrawn. I mean, that's what it should be doing. It's really weird how I can see these little dots at the start of each of the lines. Maybe it is just adjusting ever so slightly so we can see that. In which case, we should be able to fix that by just doing the wibbly wobblies. Should also improve render time. Probably put a thing around all that too. Gotta do the wibbly wobblies. Yeah, we are getting some fluctuations here, okay. Let's refresh that. So this should render a bit faster, a bit nicer. Perfect. I'm tracing a perfectly straight line right now. Oh, it went down a little bit. Go up again. So I'm assuming this number is ever so slightly different every time. Oh, there it goes. But I feel like there's also going to be a... Oh no, that one just went back down again. Spike up, and then back down. Okay. Never mind. But yeah, it's looking a whole lot better now. Let's just leave that running, I guess. So... What else can we do? We got a basic line being drawn, although I do require it to actually be doing a bit of a different information here. No. Yes? What? Okay, so... Huh? No. What? Okay. Huh? We have... Why can't I mentally get my head around this damn thing? It should be easy. There's 3 chunks to it. Getting the information, looking at the information, and doing stuff with the information. That's the 3 key pieces of the program. Each of them are independent from the rest of them. The rest of them just tell when the other ones should... Like, it just requests things from the other ones. But it doesn't care about how the other ones are doing it. Because what I need to be doing is to log information that is already existing. So, to that end, what should I be recording? How should I be doing stuff? What am I doing right now? Let's get all of the information to be dumped into here. So rather than that, let's just get this thing entirely. And then I could sort of loop through it and get the stuff, but every one of them should be a different graph, I feel. If I'm going to be doing it this way, then technically I have to be doing another loop. So we're looping through the graphs. This is all the Bitcoin things. If I want to display all the information about the Bitcoin things, then if it has a length, great. Then I need another loop for each one of the bits of information within the information. So if or it should be a for I A B in V value in this thing 0 length. Is this a length? No, it's an object. Yeah, so it would be for this. So this would be the value that I'm displaying. Which means I need to bump all that up again. And then now we have an extra piece. That would be a... hang on. So this would be this graph. So this would be the Bitcoin information. This would be the first frame. This would be the X, and that would be the Y, which has now got a length. So each of the values within that. Okay. Which means... I don't know what my end goal is here. How... I mean, am I literally creating something like this program? I mean, because they literally have links around, I can just use the code for that one. But I'm not going to. Okay, so that's all the different values. We want to do a thing, so that means the Y's now have a bit of extra information of the zeros are still just zeros though. So that should be that. I think. And how's that looking? Yeah, we're seeing a little fluctuation of things. Refresh. Oh, we didn't immediately get an error, that's always good. And there we are. Okay, great. Color coding would be nice. I could color code depending on what individual words are. Got stuff up here too. So what exactly am I looking at? So last to the most recent trade of this, lowest ask, lowest current purchase price for this asset. What does that mean? Okay. Highest current sale price for this asset. I mean, they're both basically the same thing. I guess, you know, they're the two that are closest together. So the lowest ask is the one that's going to be sold next, and the highest bid is the one that's going to be bought next. Yeah, I don't know. Percentage change? In what? The last 5 minutes? Don't know. That would be that line up the very highest, I assume. Because it's 0 point whatever. Best volume? What base volume? Base units traded in the last 24 hours. So in the last 24 hours, 58 bitcoins have been traded. Okay. And quote volume. What does that mean? Base units traded, quote units traded. What's a quote unit? What's a base unit? I'm assuming these are the people trying to sell and these are the people trying to buy or something? Or vice versa? I mean, that would make sense. So, we got 58 bitcoins worth of stuff trying to be sold right now. And bajillions of bitcoin trying to be bought. I'd say people just set really low limits and stuff like that and then they've just forgotten about it. And, well, the market's not frozen. We don't really care about that. Highest 24 hour. Yeah. And lowest in the last 24 hour. So I'm assuming that's what maybe this line and that line is? That's the lowest in the last 24 and that's the highest in the last 24? No. Well, I don't have a key. I'm just wondering what the restrictions are here. Like, if I just spam this thing, what's it gonna do? Am I currently spamming it, just not realizing it? Don't know. It just says a limit of 6 calls per second. Don't know what that means. I'm assuming it will just be returning something that isn't correct, so be careful about that if you try to spam it. Alright, whatever. Well, this seems to be graphed along perfectly happy. Maybe that's the highest and that's the lowest? I don't know. But we only really care about the one currently. So... I need some sort of a key to be displayed saying what graphs what, ideally wherever the mouse location is, but I don't really care about that right now. Let's just say display. Last. Index of the equal to -1. So that should go back to just displaying the one line. And our pings go by. Yep. Okay. Now, We sort of want to invert this, because I want to display from the bottom, not from the top. Which would mean... we want to get the window size, which is... So this thing 1 minus. Let's also have this thing go immediately. Alright, so now it's up here. You would want to scale it so it fits within the min-max of the current thing. So what's the smallest number, what's the biggest number, and then do something with that. So supposedly this would be right in the middle of the screen if ideally that went. How exactly would that work? Because the problem with that is we need to loop through all of the data twice, unless I have a measurement thing of it. And I guess I could cut it into sections. Because if I have a really long piece of data, it's sort of got to loop through all of the values before rendering it, get the highest and lowest, and then loop through all of the values again, this time making the location relative. Or... well, yeah, no, that's what it would have to be doing. I was thinking, or it could be looping through it the first time, and doing math to stuff, like this stuff could all just be buffered. So that is literally what it is, so just plotting out the X, Y of all the different things. But yeah, every single frame would have to be doing that sort of stuff, and it would have to be doing extra stuff like only caring about values within the range of the things that would be displayed on the current screen given an area. Which, you know, that's a whole other hassle. Because I'd have to figure that one out. I guess. So for that, the simplest way I could imagine is it just loops through one chunk of data. And, until it finds a value that would fit within the screen's limits, and that would be the first one. And then it just uses that same start time with all the rest of the values. But currently I'm only really doing Bitcoin, so it doesn't really matter. There's only one lot of information to go through. I could do like a binary search thing for finding a location, because it's all an array, first index being times, so I could just like jump midway through, is this correct, and then halfway through that one, I'll either plus or minus. You know, classic binary search. Or I could just say it has to be at least greater than this, and I just go through everything. Nah. Oh god, that's the problem. I'm going to do such complicated junk. But if I am going to be doing this for the long run, it's better to be doing the complicated junk ASAP. But it's just figuring out how in the world I want to store the damn values. I'm not sure about this array method, because the array method could mix things up. Instead of an array method, the indexes should be this. But then it's a question of the order it's going to be displayed in. I'm not sure if it will be displayed in the correct order. Unless I had both, I would... okay. So if I wanted to do it that way, I would need an object with each one with a unique ID, and then I would need another array with the dates and the dates relative to the IDs, and then I would sort that array. So whenever I get a new thing, I put it in that array and sort it. And that way I can find the ID to the rest of the information. But if I'm going to be doing that, I could just literally be sorting it, so it doesn't, that's irrelevant. And I'm not going to be doing binary search things to dump in the new information every time. I could just look at the last one and then push back from there until it finds the right index, because it shouldn't be delayed too much. Or I could just not care about it. But I feel like there should be some proper way of doing that. the best I can think of is something like what I did on the GPU thing, so it's a staggered sort. It doesn't sort the whole thing, it just sorts one thing into the list. And that's it. Because I don't need to sort the whole list. Everything else should be perfectly correct. It's just this one thing that's off. But anyway. Now would just be the binary search thing every damn time. Which generally would always end in the last ones at the end, which is the longest time it could possibly take. So, yeah, it'd be much better to just plonk it on the end, check the thing before it, say, is this older or newer, and then just push it back. But I'm just going to assume that lot of information isn't going to be too much of a problem. Instead of doing that, I'm just going to say, what is the bit of information you just got? When was it sent? Like, when was it requested? And is it newer or older than the last one that it received? If it's older, then we just don't give it ham. Any information I can grab from that is already gone. It'd just be really nice if this thing had a time. Anywho, so what else would I want to be doing? Well, now I have a way of receiving the information in real time. Okay, next step. Next step. Next step. Next step. Now I need to be able to receive buffered information. What does that mean? This whole damn thing again. Okay, so basically I'll be making a pseudo this. So instead of this being going through the delay function and doing all this junk, I would have it think that this is what happened, but it's just grabbing an index from a different list and then shoving it through like it would be doing this thing. Okay. So this is, I guess, request update, let's call it that. Whatever. That all the fun? Request update. Plonk, plonk, plonk. So we got our render, we got our request update, and the basics of what we're storing right now. Okay. So now we would need some sort of a middle ground thingy which goes to the request update, I suppose, because the request update's just on a timer at the moment. Do I want that? I feel like yes, but also no. I feel like there should be a global sort of ready thing. Next update? If next update and next update equals 0. Okay, so this thing's just always going to be ticking off in the background, and then when I'm ready to receive the next update, so when my code has done its thing and it's like, okay, this is my decision right now, give me the next lot of information if it's ready, otherwise I'm like, well, I'm waiting for the next information now. So if it's waiting for the next lot of information, this thing can go do its thing. So this should go once, it sets that back, and this will continually loop forever. And then as soon as I switch that to a 1, it'll immediately ask for the next lot of information. So then I need some sort of a function which gets this or toggles that. So I shouldn't be coding this stuff in here, should I? I don't have that anywhere. Well, I mean, I guess I'm dumping it through here. Basically, this thing should be out here. grab all that back. Okay. Redwood variables and a casting update. So yeah, the next thing we'd want is the thing that does this. How exactly would we do that? I feel like it should be another frame delay. Oh god. Okay, so... it's like trying to build the entire game engine again from scratch, except without only a foggy idea of how in the world to do it from my previous memories. Without actually being able to just do stuff. There's so many things, so many functions, so much stuff that needs to be coded. It's like, what one do I start with next? This one needs that one, which needs this one, which needs that one, which needs this one again, and it's just gone around in a circle. It's like, what do I start with then? So I needed to update, and yeah. So let's just go in chronologically order. So I want to do this. What should this function be called? It's the function that... let's do that this way. This is the function that calculates things. It's the function that decides. It's the function that... calculates. It's the function that decides whether or not you want to buy or sell currently. It's the decision making function. It's so this thing will, whatever it happens to be, going off the edge. Might as well pause now. Or even better yet, what am I doing? Oh, I'd have to change that one, never mind. Change the interval time down is what I was going to do, but whatever. I suppose I could just sort of undo to there. No. Let's grab this and undo. So I believe this is where it was. That should work. And the next one gives a line. Yep. Okay. So let's set this to 60 once per minute. And get rid of that log. Yeah, that's going to sit there for a minute before it gets the next bit of information. Okay. So now I just paste. Alright. Why is this indented an extra step? What? The heck? No. Yeah, that's supposed to be like that, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, so that's where I pasted it. No, it's all good. So you'll just be chugging along however long you take. Okay, this should just give me a bit more of an exaggerated graph. it wants to make a decision about information, but it's first got to receive the next new lot of information. No. It's supposed to be... So you have a graph. Let's just assume we have a graph. It'll go to the first bit, make a decision. Go to the second bit, make a decision. Next bit, next bit, next bit, next bit. As it just goes through all of the information. When it gets to the end, we need more information. So hopefully we have more information. So we need to know what piece that we were trying to make a decision about. I mean, it should just always be the newest piece that we're trying to make a decision about, but we want to know what the next piece is, because that way I can do data tests. So, should I code it with that way in mind? Which could cause massive problems later on if I happen to have the wrong index and it's doing trades about stuff which is all outdated and then it all just falls to bits. Or what, yes, no. I mean, I feel like that should be external to it. So the decision maker just makes a decision. It doesn't give a damn about where the information is coming from. It just gets given a piece of information. What are you going to do with it? Given variables. Okay. Play that properly, so it's just pausing in a couple of seconds. So decision maker just requests information. So you just get some sort of a data which will have all of your previous information to what you're relativizing this thingy from, and the current values. Which we don't really care about one, let's just say values. So I have a data, we have our values. This will make a decision on whether or not we want to buy or sell. So this is the barter, the shopkeep, the ledger, the... What do you call a thing that makes the decision for whether or not to buy or sell something? Okay, when you want to buy or sell, what do you call that? You weighing up the pros and cons, you're deciding something, you're trying to make a decision. The decider? It works for now. It needs to be 2 words though. No definitions found, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, okay. So the decider for whether or not you should buy or sell, it's the decision decider. Damn it, I know there's a word for this, so you weigh up the pros and cons, the decisions for whether or not you should buy something, the whether or not it's going to be worth it, it's not the odds, but something like the odds, but for whether or not you will like something, I can't think of the word. I'm assuming there has to be a word for this. Okay, so what are you doing? You are deciding whether or not you should buy or sell or do nothing. You're weighing up the options, I guess? Sure, you're weighing up the options. You're weighing up the choices, the decisions. You're... No, there must be a damn word. maybe I'm just imagining something. Doesn't exist. What are you doing? Whatever, let's just go with decider for now. So the decider decides on whether or not you should buy or sell given the that data and this value, and then it's just going to simply return how much, what price, and what currency I get. Well, just how much and what price to that thing. Let's just keep it relatively simple for now. This is just going to be trading in one single currency, but to and from one single currency. Because a more complicated one would be trading between multiple different currencies, whichever one had the great value. If one wanted to buy and other wanted to sell, then it would just sell to that one to buy. Rather than selling to a universal currency and then back out again, because that means you've got to do an extra transaction, which means they take more of a cut. Whatever. So sure, you got a decider, and that's going to decide based on the weights. Scale. It's a scale. It weighs up the options. I guess weighs up the options is the saying I was trying to think of. So no, because scale could mean other things. Decider. Okay. So, is this going to be the thing that requests for the next update? No. So there's going to have to be some sort of a universal thing that runs all the code in the background. Let's just call it the flow for now, why not? So the flow is a thing that's just going to be looping itself, I suppose. This will be in here, and then that thing will be there in a way. So we want to decide on something. Before we can decide on something, we must have the values. So we've got to get the values. When the values are returned, am I going to do the data next update? I mean, this thing's just sort of looping currently. Oh, okay. So if that thing's just looping, then this just needs to do this. Then you can go back to where you were. So, yeah. So we want to get the next lot of data. Let's just dump data through here. So we want to get the next lot of data. So sure, we're just assuming we don't have any. Yes, no, I don't know. Sure. In which case we're always going to be going for the newest lot of data. If we are doing that, then I want this to be equal to a 2 in the case of this thing returning. So it'll be 0 if it doesn't want 1, 1 if it's pending, or 1 should be a received. Whatever. 1 is it wants the next update, 2 if it's getting a next update. Oh wow, I haven't seen you for a long time. A lot of stuff's happened since you've last been in here. Wait, didn't you normally join on DLive? So I'm trying to make a Bitcoin trading bot thing at the moment, because I know a guy on Facebook who made very extremely large amounts of money in coin-based things in the last week. Like in the last week, apparently he started with $10,000 that he put into the system.
And yes, it was quite a while.
And now he's got over $400,000 in the past month. Or the past week. Yeah, the past week. Past week? Past month. No, I think he changed it to the past month now. It was the past week. I don't know, I'm not sure. So I really damn should be doing this, even though it drains the life force out of me to try to create this program. Because it's going to be like a couple of days, if not weeks, before I can actually start building the damn program, because I've got to build the visualizer and the testing grounds and all the debugging information into it. Then I can go back to that. Alright, let me know if you want to know what I've been working on since. I can't remember what I was working on last time you were here, but let me know, I can show you around. Done a whole heap of work to the game engine. Made probably a number of new games, or concepts thereof.
How's engine? I hope you've lost all the code.
Yeah, what was I creating last time you were here? Like, I really don't remember. I think it was the scrapping one? Was it there for the scrap one? Or was it before even that? Did I have like normal maps and things working? Or was it just the basic ray tracing stuff? I have absolutely no clue when you were last here. A year ago, probably. Let's have a few people come through.
Zeasmith, you think I remember?
Oh yeah, I did this stuff anyway. Wherever the heck you went, Disputer. Did you see this thing? I'm fairly certain that it was somewhere along the lines of this thing when you were here last, or was it even before then? I wouldn't have been before then. Did you see this? Like rooms and stuff. I was starting to try to recreate this game with my new updated engine and all that. First step is designing a brand new damn spaceship, which I was getting on, but now I've got distracted with this other thing. Is that the most complicated room? I think it is.
Yes, you were in the process of creating this abomination.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I'm about 3 games past that one now. No, I don't want to quit that, I want to crash that. I tried to rebuild my website as well, but it didn't go that well. I've lost a few things. So yeah, then I did this one, which was like the Raft style game, if you ever played Raft. But in space. Basically. You know, simply put, there's a heck of a lot more to it, but it's going to take me a while to explain all the features and stuff, so let's just say it's the Raft in space. I got this fixed now, so it doesn't just completely freeze your entire browser. I'm surprised the music hasn't frozen yet, actually. Oh, there it goes. So I got this, it's running a little laggy right now for some reason. But I got these normal maps, real-time lighting and stuff. Like, these lights could be moved around in real time. And everything. I just don't have them doing that. And I never actually made them do that. I really should have made something that moved around. So you got like spotlights with soft edges, hard edges against a wall just because I could. I can color them and change the intensity. I have point lights, so that's one intersecting with the wall that's big and bright, and then I have like smaller ones which are different colors, red one and a blue one. You can see that general location because they reflect in this. That's a wall without a normal map, so the only difference between like the floor and this wall is just a normal map. Makes a huge difference. Love it. And then I like had a skybox which you can sort of see reflecting on things, and it actually reflects the big old black hole in the distance. But it reflects it more accurately. It's weird. It doesn't wobble around as much when I do that. It's got a bit of flickering and stuff, but if I look at the actual one, it wobbles. You can see the light sources moving around. Well, it's not a light source, but yeah. It's the sun from that. Yeah. Anyway. And then after that, I was building a city builder one, which this is not really the city builder one. I was trying to do a different one after the city building one, along the general ideas that would join back up to the city building one. But yeah, I was trying to build it without a plan because I couldn't really plan ahead, and it just fell apart, turned to trash. So that was that. Yeah, here's what I got out of it in the end. So I got like a whole lot more advanced stuff. I got interactable things that you can interact with, like UIs and stuff. mouse over stuff. So I got all of those sorts of types of things working. Billboards for the clouds, billboards with animations on them, which is a real pain. It's actually, I think, uploading different images to here. Although I do not see it. Oh, there it is. The little flame over there animating. And it's the same with the map UI. Like, it just replaces this texture with a different one depending on junk. I also got like a dynamic sky. So it'll become more and more red over here as it sets. It's not the best, but you know, it works. Interactable things. So I upgraded my exporter a whole lot, so all of the stuff literally just exports other than the code to interact with stuff. The code for the switching of the animations of the flame. Buggy stuff with lighting interacting with it. Text stuff.
Zeasmith, I'm back. What did I miss? Did you explain something? OP.
Yeah, just the last 3 projects I've done.
LUL.
Did you actually miss all of that? Yeah. Yeah, it's basically what my newest version of the engine looks like. I'm not going to go through all that stuff again.
No LUL.
Okay. Yeah. That's why I built my damn chat system, so I could tell when people did that. But it does have a delay to it.
Fucking around.
Anyway. So yeah, you can see it's going red around the horizon as it sets down. And it'll go dark. It changes the lighting as well, so it becomes more orange. It took a real damn long time to get all that going good. Yeah. And then it's nighttime. All the lightings from these tiki torches, which actually are producing light.
Zeasmith, but it looks like shit. I'm proud of you, OP.
Mm-hmm. A heck of a lot better than it did. And then my newest project, which is a factory building game, which is even more advanced, but lame, and I don't like it. It doesn't freeze everything anymore when it's loading. I love it. Still takes a while to load though. It possibly takes even a little bit longer, but it doesn't freeze your entire damn web browser. A heck of a lot more code in it, so it takes a while longer to compile anyway. It'd be really nice if I could get a percentage of that. Because people would be like, oh, I don't think it worked. But said it takes at least like 10 seconds. Yeah, so I got dynamic loadings of things now, so it's loading the the textures in as it goes instead of waiting for this whole damn thing to go.
Oh no, another factory building game.
Yep. I got these things, which are billboards. Still loading in textures for them. But yeah, they're all just billboards, flat billboards, which are rendered on the graphics cards, not even using polygons, so it doesn't count to the polygon limit. I have no clue how many of them I can have before it starts killing things, but a lot more than if they were actual meshes the way I render everything else. But yeah, they're all just like a whole lot of separate images, and it just puts them down, places the picks the image depending on your perspective to the object. So that's that. Doesn't have an up and down though. But they all interact with the lighting as it should do. So the lights are behind. You can see it's got like it's lighting up the edges a bit better on that cylinder part in the middle. If I looked at it from above, it would be, you know, all lit up, whatever. Reflections and all that sort of stuff, which is the actual reflections, the same as the other spaceship thing. Love it. It does a little bit of a jumpy thing though. Hard to sort of see, but yeah, it doesn't do it if the normal map doesn't change between the frames. You got that one texture there missing for some reason. Anyway, so you can build a factory. Yeah. Don't have the collisions or anything enabled yet, but I got bored of this project because it's not exactly what I wanted it to be. But yeah, the idea of the game was just to be as simple as possible with the most amount of stuff. So you got these combiners, or whatever they're called. So if you put something in the side, it creates something. If you put something in the back, it creates something. If it's the back and the sides, it creates something different. So I'm just starting with one single material, and then I've got two materials here, and so on and so forth.
Zeosmith, assemblies.
Yeah. I think I might have built that wrong. I can't remember what the stuff to build stuff was. I want to say rods on both sides and a plate on the back. Yeah, that is what it is. Okay. Oh. That makes a gear. And then that thing and a gear and a rod creates that thing. So now we've got the gear in it. And then nope, that's not gonna work. Do I still have delete mode on? Yep.
Zeosmith, cool, ready for early access. Submit for the green light.
It's better than most games you see around. Three of those combined together. Create that. So the idea is that starting thing is an exotic ingot, that's what I'm calling it. Which by default acts like iron. But if I combine this with the thing that I just created at the end of here, now it will act like copper. So currently I'm only doing iron things with it, and that'll allow me to do copper things with it, and then you can do stuff like making magnets and wires and stuff, and then making... It's a mechanical MacGuffin is what I'm calling it, because I don't know what the name would be. And then the next thing would be an electromechanical MacGuffin, using copper and iron. And then it would be... then you combine that with the original thing again, and it creates silicon. And then you can do circuitry and stuff like that. Make a electronic MacGuffin. And then it would be like, I don't know, quartz or something, and you can create sensors. It'll be a smart MacGuffin. And that will let you to build some other new type of resource, which it all combines into. But yeah, it's literally just conveyor belts and a combiner. That's it. Then there would be like a touch screen, like a big old screen at the back, which you can interact with the same way I could interact with that map. And outputs to the sides to do stuff, and at a certain point this entire factory could be created in, or turned into one of these things. So you could make your own custom recipes for what goes in each side for an output by just building it like this and outputting to a side. Yeah. So instead of having to build all of this to build one of these, you could just have, you know, material go in, and then just pseudo goes through all of the stuff, and that pops out the other side immediately. Simplify your recipes. And that way you can build more stuff in the same space, because it's still the 1000 polygon limit. If you look up though, it goes really laggy. Makes the music stop. No clue why that happens. Yeah. Yeah. There we are. See all the stuff sort of going through.
Zeosmith, okay, cool.
Yep. Cried a whole heck of a lot of time and effort to make this all work. It seems like a simple thing, but it's drastically changed the engine.
Didn't you stop working on it?
Yeah, well, I just don't like the fundamental style of the way you build. Because you shouldn't be able to just walk through stuff. And I don't want you to have a top perspective like this, because... I mean, I guess I could. But the whole point of the game is it's supposed to be simple, which leads to more complex things without actually adding features or anything. It just naturally becomes more. You're just creating different types of stuff, but it all works the same way as the very first thing you built. And then it's, you know, got to fit within my game engine. It's got to be the kitty cat. It's got to be something that's first person in 3D, not something that is just a 2D thing with 3D. Because I could basically just build this entire game from a top-down perspective in 2D, and that would be that. I don't even need this to be in a 3D engine, which has been annoying. And I can't really add three-dimensional layers of stuff like building labyrinths of networks of junk, because that... Let me just stop this running, so stops doing that. Yeah, because I don't have the poly count to be able to handle it. So it's about as best as this game's going to get with the constrictions I want it to be under. To bypass the problems it's having, I need to break my rules, which I don't want to. I'd rather just build a brand new game. And, you know, messing around with that space one, yeah, that's a heck of a lot more fun game. So, wherever that is. Yeah, this is the new spaceship which I've been designing, which looks along the lines of... Never lets me refresh this. Don't know why. So it's supposed to be along the lines of this. Probably still got it in the screenshot thing. Oh. Yeah, so it's supposed to be along the lines of this. It's used a low-res image. So just a nice simple spaceship like that. It's just got a basic rectangular sort of body to it. The floors of the ship would be going like this. And then you will have like the captain's room, the bridge, which will have like a seat in it, and you sit in the seat and it will like flip you around backwards, so you're like laying down, and then raise you into this area over here where you can pilot the ship. So you have all your basic piloting controls and all that sort of junk. That's the idea I'm going for. So, you know, it's got gravity explained and all that. And it's the design so far. I've just got to make it in 3D, but then I got distracted. And I mapped out like things that could go wrong with stuff, how to diagnose problems, what the interactions between stuff was, different objects you could have within the game you need to get. This is just the most simplest form of the game. We've only got these 3 rooms and whatever the engine room would be, which I don't know, because I don't really know what the engine is to know what problems and fixes it could have. But yeah. And then I got all these other rooms I could have later. Why are you meowing at me? Oh. Okay. Well, cat might want kitty litter. I was cleaning my room before, my house before, so I just cleaned out the bathroom, just waiting for the floor to dry. So, why do I feel like a friend is gambling right now? Why is he in this room? No, I did gambling. That was fun. Made a couple of $100. And you've left. I'm just gonna go put, give the cat some new kitty litter. I'll be. Welcome back. Okay, so what the heck am I doing? So we got the decider. The decider needs to decide whether or not it's going to buy or sell. To do that, it needs to have data. So I feel like we should have some sort of start index. No. It doesn't care. It just wants the next lot of data, which it's either going to be the newest direct thing or the substitute newest direct thing. History is irrelevant. It's just whatever this thing is going to affect the data, and then that's going to affect whatever the next thing does. It's just this thing and whatever the information says. So next data is sort of irrelevant. Or is it? No, it's not. It is. No. So next data goes. So then this would be pending next data. And this would be next data has arrived. Okay. When the next data has arrived, and that is a 3, that means it's just the next thing in the graph. I mean, technically this is the information I want. And that's it. So I just need to get that to here. This is just simply for displaying information. This stuff doesn't give a damn about previous stuff, so I just need to get this thing here. So I could just have next data become this. And I could literally just do that, there's no reason I can't. Or I could have like a last data? New data? Again, this is working on the assumption that I'm only using one coin. Let's just go with that, because it's going to be a long time before I do multiple things. So new data. Simply is this. So that just tells me that the new data has been updated. If the new data has been up... How should I do this? I'm trying to make things asynchronous, independent of each other. It just is what it is. It just simply waits before it gets the new lot of information, then goes. I don't want a function to be run here to tell it to run. I want this to dynamically just know that it received a response and now it can continue. For that to happen, what needs to happen? I mean, that basically just means I need a thing like that again. So I need some sort of a looping function which is not the decider. Is not the, well, I guess it can be the flow thing. Okay. So flow goes, request update goes, flow will be calling itself every frame. We don't care about a frame, at least not currently. So you'll just be saying you're looking for next data. So if that is equal to 0 or equal to 3. Let's go, is equal to 0. If it's equal to 0, then you want to flip that to be a 1. Else, if this is a 3, then we have received our new information, in which case we would now want to run the decider with the value of the new data and just dump data through. Okay. So, what's happening? So we got our initial information, we start the flow loop, we start the request update loop. The request update loop is going to wait until it's being requested, and enough time has passed so I don't spam it. Okay. Alright, so that's not going to happen yet, so then we got the flow loop. The flow loop is saying that this is equal to 0 because that's equal to 0 by default. With this thing, actually it could be equal to 1 by default, whatever, equal to 0. So we immediately want information to run through the decider. If we don't have information, or we don't have the next, or the newest information, then we just do that. Then else if, okay, so that's that, then we'd be looping this, nothing's happening because it's being toggled to 1, we don't have a decision for that. So then this thing goes and says next update is true, or equal to 1. If it's equal to 1, and enough time has passed, then it's going to be equal to 2, so it's now pending. Requests information from the server, when it receives it is now a 3, and data new data is whatever it is. Ignoring the whole thing of different currencies. Because I don't... it's so annoying! I want it to be optimal, but I don't want to have to take into account every possible thing in the future, which is stuff that isn't going to matter for a very, very long time. But it would make everything a lot easier if I did. But then I'm never going to do anything, because it's always going to be another problem with things I can't figure out the solutions for yet. Because I don't even know what's a problem yet. Okay. So, where am I at? Blah blah blah, that's that. New data is new data, with new data being that, or more so with the next update being 3, then it's done, in which case the decider will go with this information. Okay, and then when the decider is done, I guess it will flip this back to a 0. Okay. And what exactly is the decider going to do? I guess let's just make some sort of a value thing. How should I do this? So let's just say I have 10 USD. I have 0 BTC. Say 50. I like to use 50 as my starting thing because that's as much as I put into this thing to begin with. So yeah, we got 50 USD. This thing is just simply going to say buy. So what am I graphing here? I want some sort of a graph to happen from this. I feel like I should be graphing the amount of the different currencies I currently have. I should be graphing the value of the different currencies I currently have. I should be graphing the changes in the currency, the potential gain, potential losses, all sorts of junk. What do I graph first? I mean, that's just going to be a flat line. A value, if anything. So, but then I need everything in relative terms, because otherwise it's going to be a really big graph. Do I need to display anything? I guess I don't. I don't know. Let's lower the tick. So oh, it's already lower. Okay, yeah, so every 3 seconds. Wait, has that thing been running in the background? I think it had been, hadn't it? Maybe. Over here. Not much happened. Oh, my spacing's all off if it's a 5-minute interval. It's just displayed the same amount. Okay. 3, 2, 4. That will do it. That thing's back again. Get rid of that. Alright, so you're just logging like you were before. Great. So that means I didn't break anything. Okay. Let me make this more better for 5-minute intervals. So that's 3 seconds. Let's say 60 seconds is a 1-minute interval. And we would want to swoosh this down a bit more when displaying it. Oh, a lot more actually, I guess. So if that's just gone from 3 to 60, so this would be a 6 and an extra 0. And that would give me a better length graph, but take a heck of a lot longer to get the information. But anyway. So next thing I'd want to do is to have one of these that uses my set of data instead. Okay. How do I do that? Half an hour and then I'm going to go back in the house. Don't tap to Facebook. I had massive amounts of information previously which was being sent to the server, so I'd have to request all of that down from my server to get the information at the beginning of the thing and then increment my way through that, but in a different way because the information is stored differently. And I would have to see how that information is stored. You should be one of these things, I think. Maybe. Because this is all my old coin stuff. Ah, here we are. So I should have something like this somewhere on my server. I guess you would be recognized through here. Did I have it in the loading thing before? Did I have a loading thing with this? Oh, we had code stuff back then. What? I didn't realize I had this stuff back then. So I do have this. Do I? Where do I get my graph info from? I mean, I'm referencing the server, but I'm not getting the server. Why am I not getting the coin data? Was I just dumping it through directly somewhere? I feel like that must have been what I was doing. What is data? And this just seems to be a global variable. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's what I was doing. Where's it? Because it's just a variable. Okay. So I should be able to just dump that there. And in here I should just have an import. Yeah. Okay. So then with that being that's where I get my data from. That data looks like... Oh, let's drag that file in particular over. In case I want to edit it for whatever reason. There's a lot of these damn folders I could be deleting files. Whatever. So yeah, this has a date, which this we don't have. The date will just be whatever I assign to it, I assume. Hi, hello, open, close, volume. So I was using the high or low, so that one was in intervals. Or was I using the open? Oh, whatever. That's what I want, that's what I'm going to display. So this is going to be doing this, and we will have a alternate version of this. Alright, so I'll do the same thing here, except for this one we don't care about time as much. So I could just say 1 and it would speed through it real fast. It's not sending server update things, so I don't care. Just need to be doing the same stuff here, so I could adjust the speed it loops through things. And that goes here. And what am I calling that? Data with capital D. No. It's a very long line, it doesn't like it very much. Just to make it stand out a little easier. So this one would say coin data. Is this a big old array? Yes, it is. And what exactly would I want to do here? I need to be able to get an index, which is the index I want. I could just add a temporary value through there, or I could have an extra value through here, which just doesn't do anything in any other case. Let's just say an index through here. And increment it, even though we're not using it in this case. But in this case, I am using it. So I guess I could just not care about it in that one. So index plus plus, and that'll just tell me what index of this that I want to grab from. So this can be this thing, index is V. Why not? And we have a problem here. Because this needs to be an object. We're doing it differently here. We need to say last because that's what it's called in the other one. Then last is this thing dot open. Wow. So last time I was messing with this was the price of a Bitcoin at the time. Oh my god. Last is this thing open, that just shoves as V. And then we just put V here and V there. And that should have the exact same effect. So this thing's going fine. Wait, was that not logging? I had a log here. Didn't seem like that was logging. Well anyway, we got some. It's all smooshed up though. I need a time. I need this number. So I can change how squished it is. Let's say update time. Update time. update time times 100. And then in this one, I'm going to add an extra condition. If update time is less than well, less than what? So less than 3, sure, whatever. Then too fast. Break. Oh, return. So I'll break the loop. We don't want that to happen if it's going to spam the server. Oh god, look at this thing go. I guess this is 5-minute intervals. Okay. So with that like that, nothing should break, but I should be able to say like 1. And this should race across the screen. Race across the what? Oh. I was already at 1. What? Perhaps because brackets? Okay. I thought that would be going a little faster than that. 0.1. There we are. Is this graph too big? Maybe I should remove the 0. Oh, add a 0. No. Is that going faster? Oh, I guess the values are just more exaggerated because it's smaller. Okay. Well, I guess this is going 24 a second. So that's the fastest this could go at, would be 1000 divided by 24. Wait. I don't know. What is that? Yeah, how does math work? That's that confusing thing, because you do it the same way both ways. Yeah, so that'd be 41 seconds. But no, it's milliseconds. Which means... divided by 1000? So that would be the fastest this thing can run out. Okay. With the frame rate that I'm using. I could up the frame rate. Actually, I probably should, because before it was doing the whole thing in one whack, which adds a delay. But if I am spreading it out like this, I should be able to up my frame rate drastically and I won't care. drastically to 60 FPS. No. Oh, I didn't type out the thing. So 1000 divided by brackets, because I hit that equal button, I don't know if it's the same. 1000 divided by 60, or I could just say divided by that, divided by 1000. Alright. I mean, I can do many other things to make this go faster because it's just doing 1 per frame. 100. I wonder what this is doing to the FPS meter. Which I don't really have one at the moment. But yeah, it's handling it fine. Okay. So, with that going, what's next? What happens if I just left that running and hit the end of the array? I suppose I just add a condition to it. Suppose that. In which case, next update just never does its thing, so it doesn't just crash. Okay, so we have a graph display. We can get the information from a data set, or we can get it from the live information. Okay, so technically now I could start implementing the actual code, but no. What should I be doing? I should work on visualization Oh, look at it wobble. Oh, that hurts. That reminds me of a hallucination I had when I was really, really sick one time. Except it was like boulders rolling across the ceiling, but it's at that sort of frequency range. It hurts. Literally like boulders just like rolling and bouncing up off the ceiling, like down and getting bigger. But I saw it from like a sideways angle because I was hallucinating half asleep. There we go, so that was that thing crashing out. That wouldn't happen anymore. Yeah, so I need to be able to interact with this thing. I need to be able to move around, zoom in and out. Maybe. I mean, yeah, but I suppose I could do that later. I mean, it's a separate thing. We've got the visualizer, the information getting thing, and the decision maker. And then the subcategories thereof. I can upgrade the visualizer later on without messing with the other things, ideally as long as I have my data and the right information, which is just a graph as a graph. I just slap everything through there. Oh, what time is it? Quarter of an hour. So I feel like I should just do a little bit on each one. So let's make the decision maker make a decision. So the most simplistic form of all of these many, many variables that I created before would be... Oh god. It's like... my subconscious hurts. That's what this feels like. Flashbacks of all the many, many, many different things I gotta do. But I can't just do them, I have to do many other things before I can make those things. All that sort of junk. Anyway. So I got the values. So we immediately want to buy the bitcoins. No, we want to set a range. No, we just immediately want to buy. So if we don't have any... No, okay, that means I'm going to do conditions differently from the way I did before. Before, because of the way it was coded, I could just say immediately buy. I can't do that this time because the decision thing is independent to everything. So I need to make the stats so in a way that it will make that decision no matter what. And to do that, I need the probe system. So if I run out of funds for buying or selling, it will buy or sell some just so I have money to play with later on and reset the system, ideally. But yeah, so we need a buy at and a sell at. So a high and a low. What if both of them trigger? I mean, ideally that should never happen. I assume one should take priority. Because in one set of data, it can't be both above and below, but it can be in this case. In this case, I want to prioritize buying, because I can't sell. Or I could just have both happen. Okay. So... should I just make them both equal 0? Sure, why not? They both equal 0. So then we have our decider. So, straight off, if... if values dot last is less than, is greater than, is less than low, then we want to send out an order. I guess that's a thing we've got to do, which I haven't done. Oh. Damn it. Oh. Yeah, so this thing will need to be able to send out orders. So the way I was thinking it was going to work was this was going to return something. It was going to return a buy or a sell. Which would then go to a thing. I'm not sure about that for now. For now, let's just say high or a low will also need to be graphed. Damn it. So values, what am I doing? I'm distracted by random thoughts. So if it's less than that, yes, no, maybe, what? Okay, hang on. So we want to be doing something. So if it's less than low, then we would want to load push. Okay, here's a problem. If that has a length, what is this? This is just values in a graph, and then we're looping through this, which I guess we could do that, but then we don't have a last. I want to create another one of these things. for the case that we're not doing that. So else we just do this. And this doesn't have the extra step. Is that right? Where's the V? We don't have V in this. What? Oh, it's on that side. Yeah, okay. So 0 is going to be 0. This one does not have a V thing, because we're just dumping stuff through. It's just simply our high and low. Unless... Okay, no, I could do that. I could do something like that. So then rather than doing this, we say await, which is that. And then in here, we can put wait dot push. So this would be happening regardless, I suppose. Wait, push, or even better yet, actually. What? Wait equals an array of a date now. A high and a low, which by default will just be whatever they are by default. And then if low is happening, then wait. So we need a low, a high off, and a low off. So how offset is the high and low to the current price, and what are they currently at? So that means this will be data high, data low, whatever you were before. This thing becomes, so if it's less than the low, then we want to update it. So technically at this point we would want to buy. And then we would say low is equal to the current value minus the low offset. And then we would want to update the graph, so wait dot low, or wait wait 1 dot low equals data low. And then we would want to set the high. Do we reset the high at this point? I can't remember what I was doing last time. I don't think I was. That just bumped the low down, but the high kept doing what it was doing. But then it would just start moving down to a different point. Whatever, that'll do. And then graph waits push wait. Okay, well that's still just being at 0. Oh, because it's not under that. So high would be 0 and low would be infinite. Finite. Nope. Why? So that would be less than infinity. In which case this is now equal to the last minus offset. Oh, we don't have really an offset. Offset low, let's just say is... I have no clue what values we're working with here. Say 100. Nope. Wait. We've got a double line thing going on now. Hang on, what is this? Why are there two lines there? Is that what 100 looks like in this graph? Okay, this has always just got two lines down here. Okay, I could do this, I suppose. Can I do this? Oh, that wiggly thing hurts. Good. What am I doing? That doesn't exist because we need viewport. Let's just not do that. Low is nada. So it is a number. Oh, low offset. That would do it. Low off. Okay, there we are. That's what I want to see. Okay. The offset is 0? Okay. I don't know what the values are, let's say 10. I suppose I can just see the values now. No, I can't. Let's just go with 10. So we got low, we got high. The high would just be doing the same thing as the low, just the other way around. High That's flipped. All lows are highs. Okay. So it's like just showing the highest it got and the lowest it got, really. Wow. Alright, so... how far am I going to go with this? Let's just do one more thing. This is... what the world did I call it before? I feel like this was offset before. It was sell and buy before as well. Which got confusing. So we had offset, we have change, okay. So that's the change every test inwards. Let's just use the numbers I had before. So 0.2 for the sell offset change. And buy offset change was completely different. So we sell on a high, buy on a low. So sell, which is high, sell change is 0.2. Yeah. I had an offset before because it's an offset per thing. So it's offsetting by 0.2% inwards. So it's getting closer to the current price by 0.2%, or the bought price. I don't know if I want to name things differently, but that's basically all it is. So we need to know, I guess, what the last buy was? I don't remember doing a last. I guess it was the buy and the sell? They come closer towards a number. I don't remember what that number was. Well, I mean, there was two numbers. Okay, so it was, you want the buy to be going closer to the last sell, and the last sell going closer to the last buy. So if the sell goes to the buy, you're not making a profit, because you just sold and bought at the same price. And if the buy goes to the sell, then, hang on, if the sell goes to the buy, then yeah, if the buy goes to the sell, I remember them both converging on a line, but whatever. So if they're converging on a line, you wouldn't want to sell for less than you bought, and you wouldn't want to buy for less than you sold, for more than you sold. That was the idea. So I guess I want to, I feel like I should say sell and buy again. Yeah, this is going to take ages. I think I'm just going to call it now, and go back to cleaning the house, and just do stuff offline, because I have no clue when the house inspection is going to happen. I'm fairly damn certain it's today, it's the 13th. It's today. As far as I know, I haven't received any new messages about it. They never set a time, and I can't reply to the text, so... Yep. Alright. But yeah, I'm just gonna mess around with this. I gotta color code things as one big old thing, which I have no clue how I want to do that. Other than, the best thing I can do would just be to put an extra thing here for a color, or an undefined we'll just use a rainbow thing or something like that. But I should be able to just define the color here, which is slightly annoying because this is a display globally. I should have this per thing. So it should be a display from graphs, which is what all this would be in. And then for Bitcoin price, that would be an object with things in it. And then for whatever, yeah. So it'd be graph, I, and I would be an index of this. If it doesn't have an index, it just displays everything or displays nothing. I don't know. Whatever. And then onto this, I could just add an object color. So I can color code things as desired. And then I'm basically somewhat, you know, I can get all of the code that I had last time working. In a way. I don't know. Damn it. There's just too much to add. Like, ideally I'd build an entire damn graph program, but that's because I can't zoom in and out or anything like that. I don't know. I'm just gonna go